Hi everybody, I'm Terry Stiles. Welcome to Oxford News This Week, and I am with Jim Hughes again.
And I am with Terry Stiles.
Back together again.
Back together like Ginger and Fred. Yeah.
And in this week's news, the Oxford DDA seeks nonprofit status, staying safe amid costly cell phone scams, and girls soccer sacks Clarkston. All that and more. The Oxford News begins right now. For at least 5 years in the making, construction has begun at the Village of Oxford Hall parking lot. Demolition began last week in order to resurface the entire lot, marking the beginning of a change which used to be attached to the debt bonds and a price tag of around $750,000 in 2019. The work was supposed to be done in 3 stages. Today, Village Manager Joe Medor says the bonds are paid off and revenue is okay, so it makes more sense to complete the entire project all at once. According to Medor, the project changes have the village a couple $100,000 because there will not be an annual cost and rise in labor and materials for several phases. The projected completion date is the end of May. While parking lot access points will be opened and closed throughout the project, Village Hall visitors can still park in parts of the lot that are not actively being worked on or across the street on Burdick, the lot behind Funky Monkey. Good luck, you guys. Jim?
Thanks, Terry. Even though the Downtown Development Authority collects business tip taxes and receives multiple community sponsorships throughout the year, the authority is attempting to become a 501c3. The nonprofit, in order to gain additional revenue opportunities, at the last DDA meeting, the board approved for the executive director to begin filing for the 501c3 status. The DDA will use a tech grant through Oakland County Main Street Fund to change the less than $3,500 out of the grant's total. $7,500 will be used to start the application process, which does include consulting with an attorney, appointing a board of directors, and choosing the name, the DDA project. And the media coordinator, Kimberly Smith, said the decision will create another opportunity that fund events that would like move forward with or without having to increase the actual budget of the DDA. She also said the downside, though, includes yearly administrative overhead and costs, but the grant has alleviated the later concern currently. There is no intention for the board of directors to be paid, and the DDA hopes to take on the next steps real soon. Terry?
In other DDA news, the board moved to bring functional and decorative furniture to the Washington Square, including $3,000 for 6 movable boxes to act as garden beds, which will support tall grasses. The DDA director, Kelly Westbrook, hopes to use the boxes as a sound barrier due to the close proximity to M24. The barrier boxes will also be used for market and events and decoration during Christmas. The remaining T-Mobile and consumer grants will be used to buy umbrellas with solar-powered lights and other furniture. Jim?
The Oakland County Sheriff Michael Burchard is warning residents not to fall for a scam in which the Oakland County woman lost $18,000 through a jury duty scam. Click on Detroit reported that the residents have been receiving phone calls threatening people with arrest because they supposedly did not show up for jury service. The caller claims to be a law enforcement and tells people that federal officials issue arrest warrants for them for failing to appear for jury duty service. And they need to pay in order not to be arrested. Burchard said, reminding that the law enforcement and court officials will never ask for any type of immediate payment to avoid arrest. In federal and state courts, delinquent jurors are contacted through mail, not by phone. Burchard also says if money is demanded over the phone, you should immediately hang up. Terry.
The Oakland County Republicans announced their new candidate for county executive just days before the petition deadline. On April 23rd, the opportunity to file to run closed, leaving one unopposed Republican candidate to challenge incumbent Democrat County Executive Dave Coulter. Oakland County GOP leaders selected Nick Joan I, a 49-year-old Clarkston resident, entrepreneur, commercial insurance executive, and steward of St. Paul Albion Catholic Church. Joan I has not held prior political positions and is running because he hopes to help the community and the county become a business-friendly economic powerhouse in Michigan. His appointment was brought on months after former contender Mary Patterson dropped out of the race. Currently, Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard is the sole Republican in county-wide office, but chairman of the Oakland County Republican Party, Vance Patrick, says Republican strategists have developed a plan that makes the county winnable. Jim?
Congratulations, Christian. Oxford High School senior Christian Poosh recently became the high school career technical education student of the year. Poosh was awarded the Outstanding Achievement Award in Career and Technical Education of the school in health science. He is enrolled in the Oxford EMT class, has participated in the Oxford Fire Department activities this year, including an open house, shop with a hero, and monthly CPR class. Poosh is also part of the field study program internship at McLaren Clarkston. He was nominated by Oxford CTE Director Lisa Butts and health science instructor Mariana Gillett. Those who know Poosh has said he's not just a student, but a role model for the community, consistently going above and beyond, pursuing his dream of joining the fire service and impacting the community. Well done, Christian, from here out there at OCTV as well. Terry?
Well, we have a few housekeeping announcements from our Parks and Recreation system. Oakland County Parks annual vehicle permit allows you to access 8 parks to enjoy a wide variety of year-round recreation opportunities, including hiking, biking, fishing, and more. Every dollar helps maintain your county parks, and a bonus with the annual permit is free parking for firework displays on Oakland County Parks and Recreation Days at the Oakland County Fairgrounds. Permits are valid through December 2024. Go online at oaklandcountyparks.com. In observance of May Military Appreciation Month, Oakland County Parks is recognizing individuals who have served or are currently serving with a voucher for a free night at a campsite, a free water park admission, or one free entry to Holly Oaks ORV Park. Vouchers must be claimed from May 1st through May 31st. So go to that website and get your voucher. Jim?
And in the segment that we all enjoy in our Behind the Lens segment today, Flying into Spring, this Cooper's Hawk was actually photographed in Royal Oak, courtesy of the Fire 838 team. What a beautiful day to spread your wings, enjoy some air, fresh air, Hawk style, in our Behind the Lens.
That picture kind of makes me want to go out and go hiking and look at what's going on in nature. It's really cool that all the birds are floating around and making noises right now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just telling you though, with our weather, it's up and down lately. One day it's cold, one day it's warm, but I guess that's, it's good to have nice days, and you got to count the nice days without the bad weather, right?
Yeah, so if it's sunny, bundle up. If it's cold, sunny and cold.
Yeah.
That's an opportunity to get outside and it's not raining. And with the past year that we've had, the rain that we've had,
right.
Go out there and enjoy those animals and the birds. They're singing for us.
Singing for us.
Right.
We're going to take a break. Dave Kenny's got Auto Talk Science in the news. I'll stop in with some sports. Terry will finish it out today with this the last story. You're watching Oxford News This Week.
Hi, I'm Gary LaVox. One thing you know about me is I used to be the lead singer of Rascal Flatts, but what you might not know is I now use my voice to support paralyzed veterans of America. Today, PVA is fighting for accessible air travel for our nation's disabled veterans and all people with disabilities. Did you know buses and trains are accessible, but airplanes aren't? Did you know that in-flight restrooms are inaccessible? Did you know that 28 wheelchairs are damaged every day by airlines? That's like breaking the legs of 28 passengers each day. Unbelievable. How is this okay? Air travel should be accessible and safe for everyone, a basic civil right for all people. It is why I support PVA, and so should you. Our nation's heroes fought for your independence. So join me in the fight for theirs at PVA.org.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from Automotive News. In our first story, Porsche's freshened Cayenne GTS delivers extra power, an updated suspension, and more standard equipment. The 2025 Cayenne GTS arrives in stores in the fall and starts at $126,895, including shipping. The sporty GTS, which stands for Gran Turismo Sport, slots between the Cayenne S and Turbo variants. The Cayenne GTS, offered in crossover and sporty coupe body styles, adopts the updated design the nameplate received last summer. It includes newly styled fenders, redesigned headlights, and updated taillights. The GTS Coupe is now equipped with an adaptive rear spoiler. A sport exhaust system featuring center-mounted tips in dark bronze is available as part of 3 lightweight packages that can shave off up to 55 pounds. Weight-saving options include a lightweight roof, a carbon fiber rear diffuser, and reduced sound insulation. The 493 horsepower GTS features a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 that delivers an extra 40 horsepower compared with the previous generation Cayenne GTS. The 8-speed automatic transmission dials up the acceleration with faster gear changes. The crossover can sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.2 seconds and tops out at 171 miles per hour. The Cayenne GTS comes standard with a performance-focused suspension that includes higher-end Turbo GT model components. Porsche says it delivers precise steering and turn-in response and improved cornering performance. The GTS sets 0.39 inches lower than other Cayenne models with air suspension. And over at Toyota, the re-engineered Toyota Camry is offered only with a hybrid powertrain, but now boasts available all-wheel drive across its lineup and a lower starting price compared with the hybrid version of the outgoing model. The 2025 Camry is powered by a 2.5-liter i4 engine paired with Toyota's 5th-generation hybrid system, giving standard front-wheel drive models up to 225 horsepower. Equipped with optional all-wheel drive that is accomplished by electric motor powering the rear wheels, the Camry provides up to 232 horsepower, an increase of 30 horsepower over the outgoing model's mechanical all-wheel drive system. The combination gives the midsize sedan near Prius levels of fuel economy, Toyota says. EPA estimated ratings aren't yet available, but manufactured estimated ratings are 53 miles per hour in the city, 50 miles per hour, that is to say miles per gallon in the city, 50 miles per gallon on the highway, and 51 miles per gallon combined. Available at launch in 4 trim levels, the starting price for the base level LE equipped with front-wheel drive has declined by $455 from the outgoing version to $29,495, including shipping, and all-wheel drive is a $1,525 option. The update includes a redesigned front fascia, new exterior lighting, and cabin improvements. The re-engineered 2025 Toyota Camry midsize sedan, now exclusively a hybrid model, moves closer to offering Prius levels of fuel economy. The Camry comes standard with Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, which includes adaptive cruise control with lane-keeping automated high beams lighting, road sign assist, and proactive driving assist, which provides gentle braking and steering to support driving tasks, Toyota says. Camry XLE and XSE models come with additional safety and driver assist features available, including front crossing traffic alert, front and rear braking assist, and automatic braking. The Camry remains the top-selling sedan in the U.S., with 2023 sales down 1.5% to over 290,000 vehicles. First quarter U.S. sales of the car rose 19% to over 78,000 vehicles, reflecting greater supply compared with a year earlier. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television.
When you hear the words nonprofit organization, what comes to mind? Is it a place your dog called home before finding you? Is it an organization that supports accessibility? Is it a place that ensures your safety and that of those you love? That protects endangered wildlife and habitats or fights for our most basic needs? It's impossible to show all the ways nonprofit organizations make a difference in our world. One animal, one person, one cause at a time, but it's not impossible to be part of it. When you give what you have to a nonprofit organization that needs what you can give, you help promote, protect, and strengthen the reach of these incredible organizations. The Nonprofit Alliance is here, helping connect people like you to the nonprofits that enrich your life, your community, and the world we share. Reach out to a nonprofit organization that inspires you today to find how you can help make the world a better place.
Welcome back to Oxford News This Week. Oxford Sports, Battle of the Blue and Gold. The Oxford varsity girls soccer team defeated rival Clarkston in a 4-2 win at the Wildcat Stadium on Friday, the 19th of April. Less than 9 minutes into the first half, the Wildcats took a lead after senior Ella Boyd hit the back of the net with an assist from freshman Allison Dockey. With the 13 minutes to go in the game, in the first half, I should say, sophomore sister to Ella, Madeline Boyd, took advantage of the Wildcats' controlled possession, put Oxford up 2-0 with another goal. In the later half, the younger Boyd sister got another goal less than a minute after that. Clarkston scored their first goal, putting the score at 3-1 with an assist from junior Samantha Zeiter. Madeline Boyd would go on to score the fourth and final Wildcat goal that night. Head coach Gabby Shriver said she was proud of the girls, their coachability, resilience, and coming off of the loss against Rochester Adams earlier in the week. The Lady Wildcats improved to 4-4-1 after that match and 1-2 in the OAA Red League. During the Oxford third signing ceremony of the school year, 10 more student athletes actually signed national letters of intent to play athletics at the collegiate level. On Thursday, the 18th of April, the students and their families gathered at the Oxford High School auditorium for a celebration of their past achievements and future opportunities. The sports represented included football, bowling, golf, lacrosse, softball, soccer, and hockey. The student athletes plan to stay local or even travel as far as Missouri and North Carolina to pursue their academics and sports choice. Congratulations to all the Wildcats and good luck in their collegiate endeavors. That's going to wrap it up in sports. I urge you to stay tuned. We did cover an Oxford baseball game against Lake Orion the other day. I know you'll see that this week up here on OCTV. Up and coming, Cherry Styles will have the last story. Dave Kenny has one more segment, and we'll close it out on another edition of Oxford News This Week.
Animals are languishing in U.S. shelters, especially dogs who look a certain way. These dogs are just as deserving of loving homes as any type of dog, which is why we decided to help them get out of kennels. All these videos you see here are submitted by followers of our mission. To learn more about our mission, please visit us at kenneltocouch.org.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from New Scientist. The largest genetic database of ancient humans yet is shedding new light on some modern medical conditions such as multiple sclerosis, or MS, as well as why there is a variation among people when it comes to other inheritable traits such as height. One of the findings is that the genes behind MS may have become more common because they helped people resist infections passed on from animals. Other findings include explanations for why Alzheimer's disease is more common in some groups than others, and why people from Northern Europe tend to be taller than those from the south of the continent. Things going on thousands of years ago can really have profound effects on the health and longevity of people living in the present, says Evan Irving Pease at the University of Copenhagen in Denmark. The genes of people with ancestry from Europe and West Asia have been shaped by three large waves of migration. Modern humans living a hunter-gatherer lifestyle first arrived in these regions around 45,000 years ago. There was then a wave of farmers from the Middle East about 11,000 years ago, followed by a further influx of livestock herders from the Eurasian steppe, now called the Yamnaya people. To understand how these mass movements shaped modern medical conditions, Irving Pease's team has been analyzing bone and teeth samples from nearly 5,000 ancient remains found in museum collections in Europe and West Asia, with the oldest being 34,000 years old. The latest research reports on the first batch of samples to be analyzed based on about 1,600 individuals. The team compared these people with genetic data from 410,000 white Europeans from a huge medical data set called UK Biobank, which began recruiting participants in the 2000s. The team started by focusing on MS, an autoimmune condition that occurs when the immune system starts attacking nerves, often leading to progressive disability. Previous studies have found 233 genetic variants that are linked to a higher risk of MS. Among modern people in the UK, those with a higher genetic risk of MS have more ancestry from the Yamnaya, the results show. The team also found that some of these MS predisposing genetic variants first arose in the Yamnaya and became more frequent in their descendants as they spread west through Europe. Given that some of the 233 variants that are linked to MS also affect the immune system, coupled with the Yamnaya living among animals, the researchers concluded that the genes behind MS probably help the Yamnaya fend off bacteria and viruses that can spread to people from animals. The team has also previously shown that a few of the MS risk variants are linked with a partial resistance to tuberculosis. In another paper, the researchers have shed light on how our ancestry affects our genetic risk of Alzheimer's disease. People today are more likely to have a gene called APOE4, which leads to a higher risk of developing Alzheimer's if they have more ancestries from the first hunter-gatherer populations of Europe. An alternative variant of this gene, called APOE2, which results in a lower risk of Alzheimer's, seems to have arisen in the incoming Yamnaya people, perhaps because it gave protection against malaria or an unknown viral infection, the researchers write in their paper. The Alzheimer's protecting variant doesn't give a reproductive advantage, so it wouldn't have been selected for by evolution for its effects on dementia, given the condition generally occurs long after people would have had any children, says Benjamin Trumbull at Arizona State University, who wasn't part of the research. A further finding from the analysis is that people living in Europe, those with more Yamnaya ancestry, tend to be taller, which may explain why people in Northern Europe, on the average, have a higher stature than people in Southern Europe. Well, I ended up with the short end of that stick. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny.
Staying active and healthy as we age starts with strong bones. To keep your bones strong, you need calcium, vitamin D, and regular exercise. A bone density test called DEXA helps detect low bone mass and bone disease called osteoporosis. If you're 65 or older, Medicare provides free bone density tests every 2 years. Ask your doctor to schedule yours. For more information on how to be bone strong, visit pathtogoodbonehealth.org.
In our last story this week, we are reflecting on a little local history. Seth Francis lived his dash well. His headstone lies in the Mount Pleasant Cemetery on Baldwin Road, and even though its only engravings are a name and 2 years, the dash between 1837 and 1930 tells much more than it seems. Francis grew up on a farm in Macomb County, and in 1859 headed west for fortune in the Colorado Gold Rush. When the American Civil War broke out, however, he enlisted in the 1st Michigan Cavalry and fought in the battles of Bull Run as well as Gettysburg. After he was severely wounded in 1863, he was taken prisoner by a Confederate force and spent time in 2 of the most notorious Confederate prisons. Once freed, Francis started what was considered on the first farm in the township and worked as a lumber merchant as well. In 1913, he was one of 27 Civil War veterans from Oakland County to travel to Pennsylvania and attend the Great Reunion commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Battle of Gettysburg. Francis died in February of 1930 at the age of 92, leaving behind an impressive legacy, now remembered nearly 100 years later. That's pretty amazing. And when I was reading those dates, I was thinking my mother was 13 years old when that man passed away.
Oh, yeah.
So it's crazy that they Civil War veterans cross paths with our parents.
Yeah, we actually, I mean,
Really
I've been
amazing.
down to my parents. I'm very, as a child, probably didn't appreciate it much until I got older. But I've been to the Gettysburg battlefield probably 4 times, okay?
pretty
One
impressive.
time on my own. And yeah, I mean, you owe it to yourself if it's just a testament in history.
Yeah.
It's very well preserved. And a lot of Michigan residents were there. And again, it was definitely a trying time for the country. And if you ever get a chance, I mean, I know, we like going to fancy vacations and all that, but my parents took us out there. We toured the
Yeah.
battlefield. Later on, I took my sons out there, and it's a very, very, I don't want to say cool place. I guess I'll say a very educational place,
Right, historic.
inspiring place
Yeah.
to go.
And we need to teach our kids what not to do.
Exactly.
If they don't learn about our history, it will repeat itself.
Yep.
And so, yeah, that's the education that you get when you're down there or out there. It's out and down, right? Is pretty incredible. And you can feel the history. When you're walking through the town,
Right.
you can still see bullet holes in the buildings.
Right.
It's just, it brings that time in history alive again. So it's
Exactly.
pretty
I mean,
impressive.
and it was like, as I say, the reason it was a 3-day battle. I know a lot about this battle.
me
It was a
too,
3-day
yeah.
battle, July 1, 2, and 3, and Lincoln actually he was kind of disappointed that the general in charge at the time, it was General Meade, didn't pursue Lee back into the South on July 4th, but July 4th was the birthday of our country, and both sides took a break. But could that have ended the war earlier? I mean, here nor there. But Lincoln issued a proclamation stating that Meade could have maybe have done a little bit more. Again, that's your viewpoint, their viewpoint. But a lot of educational things out there, inspiring. If you get a chance, head out to Gettysburg, make it an event.
And like you said, a lot of Michigan soldiers
Yep.
went there.
Yep.
Were at those battles. And I did a story on a gentleman who was a Berdan sharpshooter, and he was at one of those battles at the time. He made it into the Berdan sharpshooter unit at 13 years old. So
Wow.
they were heroes.
A lot of those guys lied about their ages. Anyways, hey, that's our history lesson here. You can find more out by reading a book. OCTV actually can be viewed on Spectrum Charter Channel 191, ATT Channel 99. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Fire Stick got put in there. And Roku. There you go. As well as if you have a show idea or would like to be a volunteer with us, contact our office at 248-628-9658. Ask for Dave or Jerry. Very special thank you to the producer, director, editor, Kyle Snage, who's out right now. Dan Weiss, double billing. Technical director, Dan Weiss. News writer extraordinaire. We call her extraordinaire. She's a student, does it from afar. Allison Miller, our own program director, Connie Miller, Terry Stiles, who doubles as our manager and is an anchor as well. For everyone here right here at OCTV, I hope you have a safe and pleasant week. We invite you back next time. And again, we will take a look at Oxford News this week. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye-bye.